G'day everybody, how's it going? Let's get moving. Turn that off. Somehow leave that on every time. That'll do. So, hello. Today I'm just going to take you guys for a drive, and whilst doing so, let's talk about my thoughts on the Lotus Emira. Lotus's brand newish sports car, you could say. I know some don't quite call it a supercar, but it might as well be a supercar. So, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go over my initial thoughts of the car. I'm going to do my thoughts of the exterior. Hint, it's gorgeous. The interior I'm going to go over, as well as its functionality, its practicality, its sportiness, and then also its what do you call it? Put that down. Oh yeah, sorry, my final thoughts. I'm trying to say like there's another thing, but related to car, but no, it's just my final thoughts on it. So, I guess, start with my initial thoughts. So the Lotus Emira, so I've done research before this video on it, because it may or may not be one of my dream cars, you could say. I like everything about it. So this will definitely be probably one of my more biased reviews, because I do like this car quite a lot. So yeah, my initial thoughts with what I know of it are that it's, for being a Lotus, it's definitely more on the reliable side. It's more well put together than other Lotuses. Good to go. It's more well put together. So the interior doesn't fall apart as much. The engine isn't so bad. Like depending on the car you can get a Camry engine with the supercharger, or you can get a Mercedes AMG. Now, I don't know the reliability of the Mercedes AMG too much, but I'm pretty sure that it's not too bad for being a Mercedes AMG. Although, of course, you'd imagine that the Camry V6 would be more reliable. And it's one of their mostly used V6s. They use it in a lot of models. Well, Toyota, I'm saying here. They use it a lot across a lot of their models, a lot of their range. So, yeah, for being a Lotus, it's a reliable Lotus. I don't know what that tells you. So it's probably just as reliable as your average car. As long as you take care of the car, it should be able to take care of you, or at least function well. I mean, of course, it is a sports performance car, so like, there's an ambulance. We're good. So it's gonna be pushed hard, but so I'd say the turbo AMG wouldn't last as long, Because if you push a turbo hard, overheating kind of wrecks turbos in that engine. So I don't know about that engine specifically, because I know it is well cooled. It's got like every cooling method you can think of for a turbo used in it, so that's good, I guess. I'll put that up, sorry. Yeah, so that's good. But so it's a little reliable. I'll give it that. I've never seen one in person, an Emira. A friend of mine has, he's told me. But I haven't seen one. Apparently, from him, he said that they look better in person than they do in images or online in videos. So it looks pretty good from that. So it must look really good in person then. So I guess onto the exterior from that. Well, it's just good looking. You can see an image of, I'll show an image now, maybe a series of images. Well, there's not much entertainment driving going on. I'm on a straight road at the minute, behind a truck, so yeah. So, based off those images, you probably get your own opinion, but I don't think there's a bad angle to it. Like, every angle looks pretty good. Now, of course, actually, I'll show you my spec of it. So, what I would get is the Magma Red, which is this colour. And I'd probably get I wouldn't get the black wheels. I'd either get the diamond cut ones, or just the straight silver ones, whatever they're called. One of those two. Probably the diamond cut ones, I reckon, with the Magma Red. Looks pretty good. It's got LED headlights, which is just pretty, well, that's just average for modern cars today. Because they did only start getting here in Australia in 2023, I think, or 2022, one of the two. And yeah. So it's kind of standard, the headlights on them, I'd say, but they're good looking. The car's got a lot of cooling to it. It is a mid-engined car, depending, well, no matter what engine you get. And the only thing that really changes, other than the exterior paint colour, is you can get a black pack for the car, which changes the roof to black, the badging on the car to black, and there was one more thing. I forget what it is now, but the one more thing also changed to black. I'm not sure if I'd get the black pack or not. Almost. I wouldn't. If I did get it, that's cool. If I didn't get it, I'm also fine with that. That's also pretty cool. Yeah, I'd say that's my thoughts on the exterior. The interior is a very nice space. You can get it in multiple different specs. The interior, you can get like a ice grey, which is basically white. You can get like a tan interior. You can get like a red interior. I like the tan one personally. You can get black with like different colour stitching throughout the car. You can get Alcantara on the seats. Get a leather or Alcantara steering wheel. And there's also like a little stripe on the steering wheel that you can pick different colours of, or just make it black. Yeah, so there's a lot of options to the interior. And from what I've seen, the seats are fairly comfortable, and I don't know about the glove box size. It's probably below average if I were to make an assumption, or it might not even have a glove box. Yeah, its infotainment is just a screen, but that's passable. Actually, no, it does have climate controls there. Not many, but it does have some. Passed down from Volvo, or Geely, whatever the brand name owning Lotus is now. It's got some buttons from there. And it's got plenty of space in the back. So behind the seats, there's actually a lot of space back there where you can fit a lot of things. It's kind of like a second boot. It might have more room back there than it does have in the boot. I don't know the exact literage behind the seats, but I know in the boot that it's 151 litres, which is, it's some space. You wouldn't get this as like a daily car unless it's just you and it's, yeah, no one else in your life, I guess, as if you got that as your only car. But otherwise you'd have it as like a daily car. I'm not really sticking to let's go straight. I'm not really sticking to my categories here, but well. Let's do functionality. So the gauge cluster is just a screen, but it's set out well. And if you change the different drive modes, you've got a comfort, you've got a sport, and then you've got a track. The track makes it like the rev meter just goes straight across, whereas all the other modes have it like a usual dial, as you can see here, which is kind of cool. And then with the drive modes, what they do is the comfort, or whatever that's called, casual, comfort, somewhere along those lines. Yeah, it changes the steering feel, the what do you call it? The traction control. And one other thing, I'll show that. I'm a little foggy in this area. Sorry, haven't looked at something in a little bit now. But yeah, I'll show that. Well, actually, I'll just show the bars, I guess, for all of them. So there's a comfort one of bars, and then there's a, what are you doing? Something odd. Yeah, there's different drive modes. I'm kind of lost. Where the hell am I? It's always lights or something that throw me off. The infotainment, the layout is kind of basic. You don't get the car for the infotainment. You don't get it for the gauge cluster. You get it for the sportiness. But before I go to there, I'll go to practicality. I'm all over the place. Leave me alone. Kind of tired. Woke up early this morning and only doing this now, so... oh well. The practicality. So, of course, well, the car's only a two-door coupe, so like you wouldn't expect it to be too practical. But you do have that large amount of space behind the boot, behind the seats, and you do have the boot being 151 litres. But in the boot, it's literally directly next to the engine. So it does get quite hot in there. So you wouldn't want to put your groceries in the back. You'd want to put them behind your seat, I'd say, or just in your passenger seat. because that is not going to keep your food nice and cool, I would say. You can fit like a bag of golf clubs back there, I'd say. That kind of size will fit. And that's about all that'll fit back there. Maybe like you could squish in a backpack or two in there as well. But other than that, that's all that'll fit back there, really. It's not made to carry a crap ton of stuff around. And it doesn't tow anything. If you thought it could, or if you didn't think about it, and now that I'm telling you, you'd think about it, it doesn't tow. It doesn't have a tow hitch or something along those lines. Although it does produce a decent amount of torque. For what the car is. Well, both engines being forced induction, you'd expect it to produce a sum of torque. That's about all for practicality I can think of. I'm surprised there's not more that I can think of. I mean, the climate works well. I know on other Lexus? Don't know where that came from. It's both start with L. Okay, that's where it came from. In other Lotus models, the climate might not always work most of the time. I mean, the Lotus still does have its electrical problems, that I've heard. We're good. It does have its electrical problems sometimes. But, that's an easy fix. That'd be covered under warranty. It's a 3-year warranty. All cars are still in warranty. They have a 3-year unlimited K warranty. But after this year, some cars will start to go out of warranty. But I'm guessing after the initial electrical problems are fixed, it might work as planned. And I know that they have over the air software updates or whatever. So that also improves the functionality of the car. Yeah. I'll move on to Sportiness. Now, with Sportiness, the car, depending on how you order the car, you can get it with like a sporty set suspension or a more comfort. Oh, I know what the other mode's called. It's not called comfort mode, it's called touring mode, I believe. So it has touring. You can pick touring suspension or sport suspension. Sport one's a bit more rough, but it can handle corners better. And the touring one is a bit more comfortable, and you just use that for daily driving. So basically, if you get one and you don't want to use it for the track, get the touring. If you want to get one and you're going to use it for the track, get the sport suspension. Now, I'd get the touring because, well, I wouldn't get it for the track. I'd get it to drive everywhere, because I would love the thing. Yeah, so it's definitely a very capable track car, and it's made to be fun, I guess. So, that's the Lotus philosophy. Make the car light. Well, I think the philosophy is somewhere along the lines of making the car light. I can't remember it exactly. Add simpleness? Forget it. The car's definitely made to be fun. I think it might be the heaviest if internal combustion. I'll put that in there because they're now making electric cars which are weigh multiple tons. So that doesn't really add to their philosophy of making cars light, but oh well. But this is their heaviest internal combustion car. ICE car. So, I mean, that would take away from its sportiness / fun factor, but it's still sporty / fun. That's a lot of rain. That's not a lot of rain, just barely watering, but I don't know. It keeps coming on and off, and I have to turn my windscreen wipers on and off, and it's anyway, and it just scrapes on the windshield. Unbelievable. Yeah, so I'll go over the specs now, because I don't want to be holding you forever. But, so the specs. So it does have 2 different engines and 3 types of transmissions, which is, there's a lot going on there. So the supercharged V6 produces 298 kilowatts of power, which is roughly 400 horsepower, I think. And it depending on the transmission. So with the V6, you can either get a manual 6-speed, or you can get an automatic 6-speed. And the manual has 420 newton meters of torque, and the the automatic has 430 newton meters of torque, so slightly more, 10 more newton meters. And because of that, the 0 to 100 with the automatic 6-speed is 0.1 seconds faster than the manual. Well, I don't know if it's specifically for that reason. It's probably gearing as well. Yeah, it's probably gearing as well. I'm going to keep driving. I don't know. Yeah, and the AMG only comes with a 8-speed dual clutch, Mercedes dual clutch. All the other ones I've just mentioned before are all Toyota. Yeah, so the Mercedes it has a turbo 4-cylinder, and that 4-cylinder produces 268 kilowatts of power, and also 430 newton meters of torque through the 8-speed. I've got the fuel efficiency of the 8-speed, but I know that the manual is 11.3 litres per 100 k's. So I'm guessing that all hover around that, and I'm guessing the Mercedes would be slightly less fuel usage than that. I forget the wheel measurements, but I know the rears are 295 millimeters wide, and the front ones are shorter. They're both 20-inch wheels, and the sidewall of the front tires are 5 millimeters taller than the rear wheels, being 35 at the front and then 30 at the rear, which is something. The ride height is 125 millimeters, which is that of an average sedan. Kind of driving in circles. Macca's. And that's about it I can think of for the specs. No, there's a 53 litre fuel tank, and for the fuel you have to use 98, well, premium here in Australia, and you can't go lower than that. It's not made for it. Yeah, so with that, I'll say my final thoughts. Would I get this car? Yes, I would. Now, they go for second hand here. They go for 100 and... the lowest one I saw is roughly 150 grand AUD. And new they go like over 200 grand. I think it's 230 grand they might go for new. So the guy selling it has lost a lot of money. So I'd probably go for the second hand one, because I'm pretty sure that one I saw only had an extra 5,000 Ks on it, and it lost like, what's that, 70 grand, which is ridiculous. So yeah, I'd probably go for the second hand one, because I won't mind adding an extra 5 Ks to my odometer. Well, 5,000 Ks to my odometer, sorry. And would I save for this car? Well, right now, definitely not. I'd probably get something more responsible, and that would be an irresponsible amount of money spent, sorry. But down the track in the future, yes, I would love this car. It just looks stunning, and it's stunning. Alternatives cars. I know people always compare this to like a Porsche Cayman. I think that's a 911. Porsche 911 Cayman. So I guess that's an equivalent. They also compare it to a Corvette CO8? CO6? I think it's a CO8 they compare it to. Which is... I don't know, out of those cars, I would go the Lotus still. I mean, I've already said I've made it, it's my dream car, so it's that for a reason, because it's gorgeous, it sounds good. Well, I haven't been able to find an exhaust video of the 4-cylinder turbo, and it kind of annoys me because I want to know what that sounds like. But if you get even the stock exhaust on the V6 supercharger, well, the supercharged one, sounds pretty good. So, like, it sounds good. It's not crazy fuel inefficient. Yes, I'm thinking of that for some reason. And, well, let's go in here. I just like the exterior, the interior, everything about it is just perfect to me. I don't know what to say. So I like it. Perfect reverse park. So with that, I'll say see you later. I'll come out with another video soon of the secrets on the car. And don't forget to subscribe, like, and leave a comment. And I'll see you later. Bye-bye.